I just wanted to tell you that we seem to have, in some of our earlier discussion today and some of the things that we've said today, we talked a lot, I heard a lot about fear. We've talked a lot about different things, and we've lost sight of what we're really here for today. This bill is about bringing before the people of Minnesota the ability to decide for themselves whether or not people of any gender, whether women, have the right to control our own destiny. That's what we're talking about here today. And I can tell you that we have this patchwork of laws that we've created with this illusion that we think that we have equal rights as women. But the reality is that a house is only as good as its foundation. And the reality is that we have all these laws, and yet, if they were to go all the way to the Supreme Court, we have no foundation. Laws can change. We heard that earlier. Laws can be overturned. Things can be changed. We have the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act that is supposed to ensure fairness and equity. It does not. We know that women are being paid less. We know that our sisters of color are in many cases being paid even less than us. And I can tell you from personal experience, I worked at a large company here in Minnesota. And as I was leaving, I had a coworker come up to me. And he said to me, "Kristin, I want you to realize when you leave this place that you are amazing at what you do. I see the way you work with your teams, and you are incredibly good at what you do. And I want you to know that wherever you go next, whatever you do, you ask for what you're worth." And I thought that was a very odd thing for him to say. And so I asked him further. And he said, I know I'm probably not supposed to tell you this, Kristin, but our department is almost 90% women. And I know what I make for a living. And I'm going to tell you what it is. You don't have to tell me what you make. And he let me know. And it turns out that what I came to realize is that I, over the course of 5 years, lost $100,000 of pay. And I was only one of the women in that department, and he told me in full disclosure that other women within my department that he had spoken to were in a similar state. Now I got to tell you, I don't know about the rest of the folks in this room and what you could do with $100,000. $100,000 could pay for an education. $100,000 could pay for a third of a house in my city. $100,000 compounded over the years in my retirement account is an incredible amount. And I am only one woman. One. I have to tell you that these laws that we've constructed with this illusion that we have the ability to put them in place, we don't. We need a foundation for that house. That is what we are trying to decide. This is about controlling our own destiny. This is about giving our sisters, our mothers, our daughters the right to control their own destiny. That is what this is about. Forget the rest of the noise. That is what we're here to do. And I have to tell you that I believe that the people of Minnesota are smart enough to figure out what this is about. We waited 133 years for the right to vote. It has been 232 years since the U.S. Constitution came into being, and we are still waiting. It is my dream, and one of the reasons that I ran for this office is because I want to see the day when the House of Government, the halls of government, have at least 50% women. Today we have about 15 to 25% women in the bodies of our government across the country and our nation. And for anybody who is not outraged by that, they should be. It is time. 232 years for equality is long enough.